Okay, let's dive right into a scientific puzzle that's been baffling researchers. It all starts with a very strange signal from our atmosphere, a clue that takes us deep into Earth's past to understand a very real and very present danger.
So here's the big question driving all of this. What strange force is causing this new, unexpected, and powerful warming of our planet? And believe me, the answer is a whole lot more complex than you might think.
Our story really begins in one specific year, 2006. Now, this isn't when climate change started, of course, but 2006, that's the year scientists noticed something had gone seriously haywire in the atmosphere, a sudden change that kicked off this whole global mystery. Back in 2006, monitoring stations all over the world started detecting a sudden surge in atmospheric methane. After years of being relatively stable, the levels of this gas just shot up, and they haven't stopped rising since. You can imagine this set off some major alarm bells in the scientific community.
So what exactly is methane? Well, it's a super powerful greenhouse gas. The easiest way to think about it is like a blanket wrapped around the Earth. The more methane there is, the thicker that blanket gets, and the more heat it traps.
And to really put this into perspective, we always talk about carbon dioxide. Well, methane is like its supercharged cousin. Over shorter time periods, it's way more powerful at trapping heat. It's the difference between a thin sheet and a heavy winter duvet. So naturally, the first suspect was, well, us. Industrial pollution, right? But when scientists really started digging into the data, they realized that this wasn't the whole story, not even close. The spike was too big, too sudden. The real culprit was a secret the Earth had kept buried for millennia.
To solve this modern mystery, we actually have to travel back in time. And the key to that journey is hidden deep within the planet's oldest ice sheets.
This is the crucial tool for our investigation, ice cores. You can honestly think of them like a time machine. Each layer of ice traps these tiny little bubbles of ancient air, giving us a perfect frozen snapshot of the atmosphere from long ago.
The process itself is fascinating. Scientists drill from miles deep into the ice, pulling up these long cylinders, and by analyzing the bubbles trapped in each layer, they can literally read the history of our atmosphere, gas by gas, going back hundreds of thousands of years.
And what they found was a really clear pattern. A huge methane spike happens roughly every 100,000 years, and it kind of acts like a trigger to end an ice age. But here's the thing, the last one was only 12,000 years ago. So why on earth are we seeing another Ice Age level spike right now? It's completely off schedule.
To understand why that timing is so wrong, we need to look at these massive cosmic forces that basically act as Earth's climate pacemaker. They're known as the Milankovitch cycles.
First up, you've got eccentricity. Over 100,000 years, Earth's orbit stretches from nearly a perfect circle to a little more of an oval. A more oval orbit means we get more solar energy at certain times, which can help kickstart warming.
Next is axial tilt. Over about 41,000 years, the Earth's axis actually tilts back and forth a bit. A greater tilt means hotter summers at the poles, which, as you can guess, is perfect for melting ice.
And finally, there's precession. This is basically a slow wobble on Earth's axis, just like a spinning top. This changes the timing and the intensity of the seasons. So the crucial point is this. When these three cosmic cycles align just right, they start a warming period. This melts the bright, reflective ice, which exposes the dark land and ocean underneath. Those dark surfaces absorb more heat, which melts more ice, which then releases massive amounts of trapped methane. And boom, you get a powerful feedback loop that ends an ice age.
Okay, so if the cosmic clock isn't set to end an ice age, where is all this new methane coming from? Let's get back to the present day and see how modern technology is mapping these invisible sources.
This is really incredible stuff. Scientists use satellites that fire a specific laser wavelength down to Earth. Now, this laser is perfectly tuned to be absorbed only by methane. So, where the laser doesn't bounce back to the satellite, they know there's a plume of methane gas, and this lets them literally map these sources from space. And this technology has revealed some absolutely staggering man-made leaks. In Iran, a single landfill is emitting methane equivalent to the weight of 180 jumbo jets every single year. In Turkmenistan, just 12 leaks from gas fields are spewing out thousands of kilograms every hour. It's just massive.
But here's the twist. As big as those industrial leaks are, scientists believe the single largest contributor to this recent spike, about 50% of it, is actually coming from natural sources.
And this brings us to the prime suspect, thawing permafrost. As all this ancient frozen ground in the Arctic and other places melts, organic matter that's been locked away for thousands of years starts to decompose, releasing enormous quantities of methane into the atmosphere.
So what does this all mean? It means we are in a situation with absolutely no precedent in the entire climate record. We're in completely uncharted territory.
And here it is, the critical point. The planet is releasing Ice Age-ending levels of methane, but it's happening during a period that's already warm. We have no historical parallel for what happens next. The planet has never run this script before.
The critical problem really comes down to control. We can fix a leaky gas field. We can capture emissions from a landfill. But how do you stop methane from seeping out of millions of square miles of thawing permafrost? You can't. This feedback loop, once it's really started, may now be running all on its own.
Which leaves us with this final and pretty unsettling question. The data shows a powerful natural warming mechanism has been triggered way out of sequence. So are we witnessing the beginning of a new phase in our planet's climate, one that is now proceeding with or without us?